It's amazing to be part of this era of the sport.
A new, fresh start.
Looking forward to racing and getting the season rolling.
We got some of the stars of tomorrow, I think.
We will see who gets the win.
And here we go. T100. The athletes give every ounce of energy they have.
That is the effort of T100.
Now the race is on.
It is a run showdown. Your world champion. 3 disciplines, 5 continents, but right now at the end of what has been a huge 2025 season, all eyes turn to Wollongong in the south coast of New South Wales, Australia, just south of Sydney for the World Championship Grand Finals. Welcome to the Junior Women's World Championship. We just had the Men's Junior World Championship crowned, and it was the Frenchman, Tristan Duchesne, who ran away from his competitors, but now the world's best 16 to 19-year-old women are warming up for what should be another incredible battle. There is a wide open field in this one, 2 very fancied competitors who have gone head-to-head so many times, but others who could definitely steal it from them. My name is Will McLoy, and alongside me, once again in this one, Belinda Granger, and there is so much to like about this field. Some Australians in the mix here at home, but also another chapter in the rivalry between Fanny Zalai and Ambra Grasset, the incredible back-to-back firsts and seconds they've had over the last 4 major championships, and you can see from the trees in the background that the wind is absolutely howling here in Wollongong. Let's have a look at the course map to see exactly what they're going to have to face. Now, this one says it's a straight out and back, but in fact, because of the conditions, the swim has changed to an M-shaped swim, same as the junior men, which means that they stay within the harbour area. It is 4 laps on the bike. There is a tough, punchy hill at the start, a technical section, and then a nice wide out and back, a little bit of everything. That same up and down hill around the lighthouse on the run. And after that first little one, they'll do 2 more loops around the lighthouse, down Marine Drive, and then onto the blue carpet. Tristan Duchesne was the man who did it best in the men's. Who will do it best in the women's? That is what we are here to find out. And it says possible thunderstorms. I can tell you that we were just outside a second ago, and the raindrops were falling and the wind was a lot higher than 22 kilometres an hour.
Oh, it definitely was, and that sky was looking very, very grey and very, very moody. Hoping that it will hold off, though, until the end of our race here today. We know that these women are going to be fast and furious. What I like most about this race, Will, we have the 3 from last year, first, second and third from last year's World Championship here to battle it out again. But we all know from looking at every race we've had on so far, it is anyone's race to take.
That's right, the 19-year-old Diana Donatska, her last year in the juniors, sees the #1 seed, fresh off a 6th in the Rome World Cup. Jimena Renata de la Peña shot is in there as well, represented Mexico until 2023, now under the USA banner, and she was the America's champion this year and USA Junior National Champion last year. Aspen Anderson, Addison Houslip and Claire Spicknell, they are the 3 Aussies in the top 10. They'll all be wearing the yellow caps, and Lise Captain as well. The Estonian, the Baltic champion, is here. Fanny Zalai, she is the Hungarian hope. Hungary has been so dominant already across this weekend, and she has done so much in her short career already, has Fanny Zalai. 20 starts, 16 podiums, 10 wins. Silver in the Junior Worlds last year, and she'll be looking for revenge in this one. As we head further down the field, Cadence Rivik, the South African, is in there as well. Anouk Rigaud is a good shout as well. And there's a few athletes here who have rankings a little bit further down because they've been doing different things other than elite world triathlon races. which means that it really is anyone's race here.
Absolutely, and that's what I think I like best about junior racing. I've had a little bit of a chat to some people that are in the know, so there are a couple of women that I can't wait to talk about a little later on that might not necessarily be on everyone's radar.
Yep, Anouk Dana's one of them. The two Anouks, we'll look out for those two French athletes. And look out as well for Aspen Anderson. You can see her there with her hands on her head getting ready. Doug Gray spoke to her earlier, and also Fanny Zalai.
Aspen Anderson, multi-sport world champs up the coast last year, world champs here this year. Good time to be an Aussie athlete, huh?
Definitely a good time to be an Aussie, and after yesterday's performances, I'm so excited to wear the green and gold in front of a home crowd.
Just give us a sense of, your excitement in the build-up to here and the belief levels in you at the moment.
Yeah, after watching what the guys did yesterday, I am on cloud nine, especially Rochelle, a really good friend of mine. We both had a rough season last year, and seeing what she did yesterday really shows that it's not done until it's over.
Yeah, I mean, that was some finish for sure. Just give us a little reflection on last year and that crazy championship finals and what happened to you out there.
Yeah, last year was not what I had gone and hoped for, but I had a hyperglycemic episode, which I've never had before in my life. Just a freak accident, and I ended up passing out on the bike. So I've reflected on that, and I've come back a lot stronger. So hopefully I can put on a good performance today.
Yeah, it was the Oceania champs that punched your ticket here, and ready for more success?
Yeah, definitely ready. Hopefully it's a good and fair race out there, and I can't wait to race all the girls.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Fanny Zalai, congrats on a great Super Tri season, first of all. Bringing that momentum in here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully I can bring some experience from Super Tri. I just can't wait to race. I just want to race without any expectations, because I know last year it really damaged my race. So this year I'm feeling more relaxed and calm, so I just can't wait to race.
I mean, it was a brilliant performance last year, but obviously, there was some disappointment at the end of it for you. But with a bit of time, how have you reflected on that race?
I mean, it was a good race. I was quite happy, but I expected myself to be maybe on the first place, because I saw my face in a lot of places that she can do it. So that's why I just expected it, but I know that I couldn't do it. So
You're always ambitious. You've always got a lot of self-belief. Is this the kind of course that will really suit your racing as well?
Yes, I think so, because since I do triathlon, I know I love hills. And that's why my coach always just told me that I like to be myself, to feel myself in pain. So I think I like pain, I like hills, and I like that kind of course. So I think it's quite suit me. So
And a little bit of rain starting to come down. How's that going to affect things?
I think it's not going to affect me, because in Super Tri I raced in lots of course where there were some rain, so I think it's, I just only focusing on the race, and that's it.
Well, we'll let you get back to that preparation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Fanny Zalai, when she talks about she expected to be in first, that second place last year ended, I think, a couple of years without a junior loss. She was first in every race that she had done. She was absolutely incredible. 4 seconds, wasn't it? 4 seconds separating first and second, and that was Diana Danatska that we saw just previously then. And, of course, she was 13th at this race last year, 6th recently in the World Cup in Rome. Hayashi, sister of Manami, who was 4th here yesterday. So sisters both racing here. I'm sure that was great motivation for her. What's the name of your sister? Miami
and Ayami
and Ayami Hayashi.
That's a tongue twister if I ever came across one.
Okay, Segura, the Japanese athlete as well. Addison Housley, we saw just before as well, one of the 3 Australians in the top 10. And there is Ambra Grasset, the woman who beat Fanny Zalai into second in this race last year. Zalai led by 12 seconds out of the water. She had a really bad transition, lost time, and that silver, as we said, ended a run of a couple of years without a loss. And then we go into the European Championships this year. Again, Grasset beat Zalai by 2 seconds this time.
2 seconds, that's nothing.
Yeah, and she picked up 10 seconds in each transition as well. Danatska, though, is the #1 seed, then Hayashi, and then De La Pena shot. There is Aspen Anderson, who is running to the start line. She cannot wait to get out there. Addison Houslip as well. Won a European Junior Cup race in Tichivaros in July. Then Claire Spicknell, also part of the winning mixed team relay team, along with Aspen, won the Junior Oceania champs. We just saw Amber Grasset out there, the junior world champion from last year, and then Hayley Cornwall. And there is Fanny Zalai, the first athlete in the silver caps.
Honestly, you think about the name Fanny Zalai, and I feel like she's been in triathlon for forever, but you forget just how young she still is.
17.
Wow.
17 years of age, last year's European junior champion. She only started swimming when she had asthma as a child, and that was recommended by a doctor to start swimming, and then she just started winning everything. And she's decided to go all the way to the far end.
Well.
She's a super duper swimmer too. I don't know if she was looking at the junior men, but definitely slower on the far end. She's got a new swim coach this year, and she actually was the Super Tri swim leader, so she was out swimming incredibly accomplished swimmers at the elite level. So it will be interesting to see her motor across the front of the field.
She also managed to get her very first podium in Super Tri this season as well.
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yep.
Very emotional moment, and lots of self-belief there, and deciding to go alongside her. A few athletes will probably see her, the super swimmer, and decide that might not be a bad place to be, and one of them is Leah Howard, the
bronze medalist
from last year. So she was part of that three-way battle with Grasset and Zalai. Grasset's decided to go on the far left. The other two podium getters from last year on the far right, and now it's up to the others. But again, almost, I think, every single top 10 athlete, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think all of them have decided to go far left.
Except for Fanny.
And then Zalai has decided to go to the right. It looks like longer to the right, but I don't know. I've been wrong before. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I have actually. Anouk Rigaud there, we saw in the blue cap. She is number 33, the European youth champion from last year, and 4th at the European Championships behind Grasset and Zalai and Anouk Dana. So there was 2 Anouks back-to-back, 3rd and 4th. That's a Belinda Granger style wetsuit, that one.
I did like
you want to have a good swim if you've got a pink wetsuit on.
Oh, you do stand out, that's for sure.
There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of them deciding to take the far left, and most of the athletes from 11 to 20 doing the same thing alongside them. The tallest athlete in there, that is Aspen Anderson, also a Super Triathlete. Had one race in Toulouse 2 weeks ago, had a crash, got eliminated unfortunately, and that is Diana Dunatska, a 19-year-old Slovakian elite sprint champion, junior champion of Slovakia as well this year, 13th in the junior worlds last year, and now wears the #1. And if it's anything like the men's, it's a bit of a curse, the old #1.
We do know that she's coming into this race in some very good form, though. 19 years of age. It was 26th at Kalovivari earlier on.
Tell you what, though, she had she's 39th at the European Champs. That was the elite champs, though.
It was the elite, that's right, correct.
So there
Not
is
the
that.
junior, so up against the best of the best. One of the athletes we haven't spoken about, wearing #4, Lise Captain from Estonia. It's going to be interesting to see how she goes. She is the niece of the great Einar Lahr Johansson, one of the tallest, if not tallest, men that was in triathlon. He's obviously retired now, but was an absolute beast when he used to race long course. She recently ran a new PB for 5K, 16:32, so we know there she is on screen now. She can run right up there with the likes of Fanny Zalai when it comes to running prowess.
My Slovakian contact is back sitting at the same wooden table he was sitting at yesterday. He's got his breakfast, Michael Buček, and he's got the laptop open, and he's like, here we go, Diana Dunatska wearing #1 Slovakia. She's a good runner. Okay, well, we're going to find out, aren't we, very, very soon, because it's a sprint race, 7:50, 20 and 5. It'll be over in under an hour. And these athletes are going to have to deal with those dark clouds you can see on the horizon, gusty winds, and Fanny Zalai coming into this race with, as she says, less expectation of winning and just another year's experience. So we'll see whether that pays off. Far right, a little bit longer to the first boy, as you can see the pink in the distance. Let's get it underway again. Looking forward to it. The #1 seed, Diana Dunatska, far left. Fanny Zalai, far right, and the best in the world in between. It is the Junior World Championship for the women. Let's get it on. Into the water we go. Only one athlete not wearing a wetsuit, and it's one of the Australian athletes too, right in the middle. Everyone else deciding on the wetsuit. Dunatska having a good start. Same for Lise Captain, the Estonian, in a #4, and alongside her, Aspen Anderson. So 3 athletes out early in the yellow caps. Cannot quite catch Zalai in a silver cap on the far side of your screen. But already the higher ranked athletes stealing a bit of a march on the rest.
And of course, wetsuits are optional right now, hence why we have got the one athlete not wearing them. I don't know if that's the smartest choice. I mean, it makes it quicker through transition. We've seen that in previous races, Will, but...
Mentally, though, is the only athlete without the extra buoyancy of a neoprene wetsuit? I don't know.
I couldn't do it unless I was an absolute super swimmer. I think it's taking a big risk. We've seen it done before, and it's worked out pretty well, but...
I can't look, just to change back, this gamble from Fanny Zalai
to
take a longer,
race.
You know, and we have seen it every race, and it hasn't really worked out, but I think that is Zalai there in the... Oh, no, it's not, is it? Is that number 15 in the silver cap there?
It is there
and
right
then 11
now.
behind her. So 15 and 11 are the two athletes trying to come across, and that is Leah Huart and Fanny Zalai. But where they can slot in behind the yellow caps, or indeed in front if that's what happens, is the question. So it's a bit of a gamble depending on how this thing works out. We can see that it looks to be that they've lost a body length or two by starting on that far side. Which
is exactly what we saw in the race previously, in the junior men's race. But did you see the shot then of outside of the rock wall, how rough it is? There are white caps everywhere. Hence why they've... Look at that. I mean, that is horrible.
Gross.
And that storm is 100% coming our way. So
when you think about it, though, the rock wall gives you a calmer water coming, because that's what we said last time. If you're further out in the middle, well, you're going to get a little bit of swell against you. If you're behind the rock wall, you're going to have a calmer swim on the way out.
Absolutely.
And speaking of calm swims, look how calm it is there.
Oh, nice and calm. Looking beautiful
yum.
now. But
great.
That weather is really coming in, and going to be interesting on this bike. Hopefully it will stay dry. Of course, Fanny's saying it won't make an ounce of difference to her. She is by far one of the most experienced when it comes to racing.
Fanny Zalai, they're stuck in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Now she's trying to find some
but it's just
space. I would not be surprised, though, if she comes out of the water first, such as the quality of her swim in recent times, but we'll see. Here's a replay of the start. Donatska closest, all the yellow-capped athletes on the left. Pretty decent start. One athlete, as we can see there, without the wetsuit. Everyone else doing it. Great start from Anderson. I think she had an especially good start there. The Australian into the water, very used to a beach start and straight into a work. And she stole half a body length on Liz Captain and more than that on just about everybody else. And if she can turn that into a decent swim, as the athlete in the green cap, if she would be so kind as to put her head out of the water, it's number 44.
44, that is.
As we quickly scroll down and find out that it's Iana Chekskaya.
Wow, great swim early on in this 750 metres. Of course, M-shaped swim, the same as we saw for our junior men. And look at that, she's got a couple of body lengths already on the rest of the field.
Yeah, she's competing as an individual neutral athlete, as that means she comes from either Russia or Belarus.
But going back to that start, and you were saying, you know, Fanny was able to join in mid to front. But why would you do it? I mean, you get bashed around.
Where's she gone?
Well,
in the middle. In the middle there in one of the silver caps, I think, perhaps.
And it's just not a nice place to be.
No, hang on. Maybe second behind.
Yeah, that's got to be her there.
Chekskaya?
Coming up now. But look, it's taken her that long. And I agree. I have no doubt she's probably going to be right up there in the top 3 out of the water. But she's done it the hard way.
Yeah, she could
I really
be
think she's done it the hard way. She could have had clear water that entire way. She had started down that other side. And while it may not make a difference to her where she gets out in the water, what about the amount of energy that she's had to expend getting through all these people? And look, she's right there now.
Well, she's continually surprising in
I
terms
know.
of her improvement, so
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if she just rides away with this and disappears in the distance. But
exactly.
You know, we've still got a long way to go. And as we reach the bottom of the new M-shaped course, they'll turn back out towards the pink boys once again. And they'll all thank their lucky stars that they are not swimming out beyond the rock wall, where it is dangerous.
Horrendous out there right now. And look how black it is.
Well, it was horrible yesterday when the conditions were good. So now it'd be a completely different experience. So they'll head out to that pink buoy around that little man-made island out there, around another pink buoy, and then back into the beach for the 750, and then 4 laps out onto the bike. And Zalai has dropped in behind Chekskaya as they start to string out a little bit and now get into their work a little bit more after that fast and frantic mass start. I think I speak for all age groupers when we said the one good thing about COVID was the disappearance of mass starts. We could just go in 2 and 3 at a time. And I'm glad that we haven't gone back to mass starts since COVID. It's much more pleasant to just hop in with 2 or 3 other people rather than that absolute washing machine at the beginning of a mass start.
You can see one long group right now.
You got to be impressed with Chekskaya, who has had 1 start only at World Triathlon level when she finished 33rd at the European Championships in Istanbul this year at the Elites. Hasn't ever raced at the world level. Has 0 basically experience at this level of racing.
But what better place to start than putting yourself in the right smack bang in the middle of a world championship and leading it right now in the swim. Sometimes, you know, I say it often, ignorance can be bliss. Will?
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely right. But then when you look at Chekskaya's results, I mean, she finished just about 6 minutes back in an Olympic distance on Jolien Vermeulen.
Yep.
She finished ahead in that race by 2 minutes from Diana Donatska, who's our #1 seed. So she is nothing to sneeze at in terms of athletes.
Solid athlete there.
Yeah, very. Having beaten the highest ranked athlete in this field in the European Champs just a little while ago. Obviously races in other races that aren't at that World Triathlon level. And I'll do a bit of like manic Googling if she's still out front on the bike and find out what those races are.
Right now you can see just starting to split a bit there, so we are starting to see some distinct groups forming with a couple of our swimmers in no man's land right now. Because the wind has picked up a little bit, we're not sure we're going to be able to bring you the drone shots that we had for the junior men's race just yet.
They've actually moved those boys from the men's race because they went right around the outside of that island last time, but this time they've moved them further across on the inside. So they go round the buoy and then back around the inside, or maybe that's just a choice that the women have made. They could have gone straight in.
Good point, because I don't think they've moved the boys at all. I think they're exactly where they were before.
So they could have essentially gone, and they can come straight across.
Absolutely.
They do not have to do that. They can just come directly in, unless they've been told since the men's. But I believe that they could just go directly in.
Yep.
And in fact, the pink athlete nearly did it.
Look what we're seeing here. They're zigzagging. This has got to make it longer.
Well, okay. Oh, hang on. Someone's doing it.
Someone's...
Do it. Do it, Blue Kit. No, you chickened out.
But this is the problem. You know, you get one do it and then they're scared to make a mistake.
I don't know, maybe they've been told and I haven't heard it. But they might have been directed by the jet ski to take the inside line there. Certainly didn't happen in the men's though, so maybe that's something that's happened since then. And then there is Fanny Zalai. Did I not say that she was going to lead it in? Chekskaya's there and a couple of others. Oh, that's a move from earlier, but that's the yellow boy, not the pink. So it's possible that they've just moved a few of the boys around to, or moved everything across a little bit to give them better conditions. But anyway, doesn't matter now. Chekskaya's gone back ahead of Zalai, and being hip to hip like that is not the best or fastest way in. So we've seen this before. Athletes slowing each other down.
And look at that, swimming side by side, which I'm sure they're going to remain all the way through to shore. And these two just managing to put an ever so small gap between themselves. They will exit the water together in front.
Very good swim.
Great
from
swim.
Chekskaya. We expect it from Zulai, who's probably swum an extra 15 to 20 metres further than anybody else. You know, at least anybody else who was on the left-hand side, and we're going to get the splits as they come out very soon.
That's it. Group of 5 out together.
And
that was Leah Howard. So Leah Howard in 15, making her way up the stairs now. Great swim from her.
Howard and Zulai in front. Lisa Lecomte of France. Czech Sky we've talked about. Chiara Reckman. Diana Dunatska, who will have to serve a 10-second penalty in transition because she was late to race briefing this morning. So that is your number 1 seed. Jada Banker, the German. Ayami Hayashi, the number 2 seed. Linda Krombach, Patience Lamb is there. Lise Captain is another one of the fancy competitors as well. Victoria Faccio, and there is the 10-second penalty. And that is an absolute horror show for Dunatska. She waits and waits and waits and waits and waits, and it's 10 seconds, and now she can go. And that hurts, and she'll hope that she can join the back of the pack and sit in and limit the damage. A little slow there for the Japanese athlete Hayashi to get the helmet on. Oh my gosh.
And only just coming out now, so that 10 seconds, I mean, it sounds like nothing, but what a difference it makes through transition.
It just means that you can't relax into the bike at all.
No, you've just got to go absolutely full throttle to try and get on the back of this group. Little look around then to see where everyone is.
All right, I want to just point out that Amber Grasset is 55 seconds back into transition. The World Championship winner from last year is 55 seconds behind her rival from so many races in recent times, Fanny Zulai. And there normally is a gap, and she's a great runner, Grasset, but that's bigger than what we're used to seeing.
I mean, that's huge for a sprint distance race.
Diana Dunatska spoke to Doug Gray before this race, and she said to him, it's fine, having the penalty just gives me a 10-second rest. I'll catch up to them, there'll be no problem. Now,
I love
one
that
of these
confidence.
athletes has taken off with their helmet undone.
Oh no.
That is it Dunatska? She got it done up again. I don't know who it was. So we'll get confirmation. That was a replay, but we do know that there's a penalty going to be handed out, and we don't know who it's going to be. So we've got a group then of 5 on the bike that have broken away, and confirmation then that it is the number 2 athlete, Anami Hayashi, who has picked up the penalty. She was on the left-hand side there. She had a bit of an issue with transition. She obviously put a hand on her bike or took a bike out of the rack with her helmet undone.
Undone, yep.
So was either done up for a second and then wasn't, or otherwise. But yeah, as I was saying, Dunatska said to Doug Gray, it's fine, it gives me a 10-second rest and I'll catch him on the bike.
I wonder if she's thinking that right now.
Yeah,
as we see this group forming on the front here, a group of 5 riding really well early on. Early days, of course, here, but this group looking very, very dangerous.
So Huart, Lecomte, Reckman, Krombach, Zulai is there, and I think Chenskaya. We're going to get confirmation of who these athletes are. There's only 5 of them. And those Zulai's in there because I can see the distinctive Hungarian colours. And this is just day 2 of what's going to be a cracking 4 days of racing. We had 2 amazing races yesterday in the under-23. Just a reminder of the course. Of course, it was an M-shaped swim. That's the old graphic, and it was changed this morning given the incredible conditions that we have. 4 laps on the bike, up and down Lighthouse Hill, through the technical section, on the out and back downhill into transition. There's a little bit of everything on that bike course. They go back around Flagstaff Hill and the Lighthouse on the run. They do an initial short lap, which is that one right there, and then 2 loops back around Flagstaff Hill. And once they've done that, they head onto the blue carpet. And if you can handle all of that and defeat your competitors, you will be the junior world champion. Over the sprint distance, of course, juniors race the sprint, under 23 and elites race the full Olympic distance. Tomorrow as well, Belinda, we've got the para triathlon, which is going to be really exciting. And we've got some incredible athletes, some incredible stories. And we'll be lucky enough to have Jonathan Gerlach, one of those incredible stories and one of those incredible athletes, in here with us to talk us through the para-triathlon, all of it available on Triathlon Live, and of course, if you're in Australia, on KO and Fox Sports.
When I was out watching the age group race this morning, the sprint distance race, I bumped into Lauren Parker, and she is going, can you believe this? She is going for World Championship title number 5.
That's
so number
outrageous.
5, unbelievable. So what an athlete she is. I cannot wait to watch her race tomorrow. But the para race in the morning, it's going to be amazing. And then, of course, in the afternoon, we don't rest. No rest for the wicked here. Straight into the T100, where we've got 20 of the best and the rest racing over the 100-kilometre distance. Got some new faces in the race tomorrow afternoon that have never, quite a few that have never raced in the T100 series. Gives them an opportunity to shine, but I know that there are a lot of very excited and keen athletes to get back into racing and get their first opportunity to race. Such a prestigious event. But Sunday's where it's all at, I think. Sunday afternoon with the elite race, men and women. We've been waiting all year. It's been an incredible series, 7 races plus the World Championship final.
Okay, so in this group of 5, Lisa Lecomte, the French woman, is in there. Czechskaya is in there. Fanny Zalai is in there as well. And as is Leah Huart. And there's one other athlete who I haven't been able to pick up the number of just yet. Haven't been through a timing split for us, so we haven't been able to see that, and we don't know what the gap is. But Anouk Dana, the Swiss athlete, is driving this chase pack to try and limit the damage, and there's only 2 of them.
Just
chasing down, who've broken away from the main group. Sorry. Oh, don't eat a bunch of hot chips before you commentate. Oh, too many.
What about me? I have to sit next to you, honestly.
We're 20 minutes, and so I've just power eaten lunch, and I'm just dealing with that as we continue in this race. We're all dealing with our own challenges today.
Are we what? But
some athletic, some otherwise.
But you spoke about Leah Huart from France being in this group. She was the bronze medalist at this race last year. So there was that amazing 3-way battle between Fanny Zalai and Grasset. I love the fact that they're all racing here again today. And having, of course, Zalai and Huart in this front group with the others chasing desperately.
Yeah, Linda Krombach and Chiara Reckman are the other 2. They're in that front group. And then it is 6 seconds back to Anouk Dana and Diana Dunatska, who was the one who got that 10-second penalty. So without that, she would be in that front group and life would be a lot easier for her. But she's hoping that Dana can drag her back, although there is a 3-second gap between the 2 of them, or there was at the northern turnaround point of this course. So at the moment, it's number 41, Chiara Reckman, who's driving them up the hill back into the town section before they'll head back down into transition. And Zalai, who's asking for a few other athletes to do a bit of the work, will want desperately to keep this group away from her main title rival, Ambre Grasset of France. And it's a good group. We saw a group of 4 try and break away in the men. We've got 5 in the women, and they'll want to work together to try and stay away for as long as possible. Two French women. There's one of the French women on the front there, Lisa Lecomte. So it is Huart actually on the front, then Reckman, then Zalai, then Krombach, and at the back, it's Lisa Lecomte. So French at the front and at the back as well as they head down the hill. And it looks like behind them, Anouk Dana has gapped Dunatska. And so those 2 athletes are on their own. And it's 15 seconds back to Anouk Rigaud, Carlotta Buch, Jimena De La Peña, who lead a massive group of athletes. So, Reckman, the German, in the lead. Zalai tucked in behind. Krombach and then the French women, who are third last year, the bronze medalist from 2024, and Lisa Lecomte. The gap now an extra couple of seconds back to Anouk Dana, the Swiss, and the number 1 seed from Slovakia, Diana Dunatska. So confirmation that it was a penalty for touching the bike before fastening the helmet for Amy Hayashi. And here it is. So she did went to do it up, touch the bike, it came undone. That's all it takes.
Just
and
a simple
that's
mistake.
10 seconds.
Costly.
Oh man, that hurts.
Very costly mistake.
You got to make sure it's completely done up. I mean, in age group racing, you'll get away with that, but
not so much in the
not when all the eyes of the world are on you.
World Championships.
So those two athletes have come together now, Dunatska and Anouk Dana.
Let's see how far they are behind. We've got our lead group on the left, coming down the other side of the lighthouse now, while our two chasers are making their way up and over. It's not a very long climb. You can see out of the saddle, preferring to grind up this hill. It's not very long.
Saw a coach there, Dunatska, Maris Horenek. He's been a coach for quite a while. He also was the coach of the only athlete to race in the Olympic Games, Slovakian athlete in 2008, Paolo Simko. Just grew up in Canada. Diana Dunatska moved to Slovakia. And now she's got a little bit of help with Anouk Dana, who has a pretty impressive resume of her own. Dana, as we know, she was third behind Ambra Grasset and Fanny Zalai in Melilla in the European Championships, fifth in the Junior Worlds last year. And they're all taking part in what has been a fantastic World Championship so far and a fantastic destination. Overall, Wollongong, whether the sun is shining or the thunderstorms are threatening, it's some kind of place to come to stay and play.
Race ready. Holiday ready. Wollongong blends world-class training with the perfect coastal stay. Where your championship journey meets your getaway.
Looks beautiful there, apart from the moustaches, of course, but we're hearing that in certain parts of the course, the wind is absolutely howling through the concrete canyons here of the technical part of the course, but also up the road of Flagstaff Hill and the cliff. They're dealing with some serious wind. So we hope everyone stays out of danger and stops the wheels from overlapping. We've seen some pretty solid accidents.
And we've seen that happen in obviously our under-23 men's race, where we had a couple of crashes there, one resulting in a couple of broken arms, unfortunately. So we do not want to see that again today, but it's very blustery. You can hear the brakes as they make their way around the technical part of this course. There's some pretty tight turns.
Oh, she's down!
Just as I say that.
Just the two of them!
Oh my gosh!
Diana Dunatska comes together with Anouk Dana, and it's Dana who goes down.
Oh, when she's hurt, you can hear in the background. Oh, I'm not going to say this anymore. I think
Commentator's curse there from Belinda Granger.
Talk about it.
I was watching the two of them and thinking, why are they not one behind the other going through this area? They're taking different lines into corners, and we will see the replay in just a second.
Oh, that's just...
But a touch of wheels, like we talked about.
Yep, and race over. And it's as simple as that. Look at that, coming in together, side by side. What were they thinking? And just, look, bang, straight. Oh, actually... She went straight, she didn't hold a line. She went straight across in front of her. Terrible riding there. Terrible.
That's Dunatska who has touched Dana, and they've come in on bizarre angles. Anyway, that's what's happened. And it was Dana whose race is over. Dunatska continues onwards.
Devastating, absolutely devastating.
You know what that does do, though? That really puts this chase group, this lead group right out in front.
It does.
With Donatska now on her own. She's going to get swallowed up by the peloton of athletes behind. And, you know, we talked just before about how the wind is just playing havoc through these sections where there's lots of big buildings, big apartment buildings, so just might have pushed her across and into the front wheel of Anouk Dana.
Yeah, it just looked like she'd come around the corner, and then almost like she not overcorrected.
Here we go. Let's have another look. So she's come across.
No, she's come right across for no reason. I don't understand why she needed to come that far across, and she's just completely taken her out, straight across her front wheel there.
I'm trying to say that it could have been a gust of wind, but Belinda Granger is not having it.
No, I'm not having it. I think that was just a lack of experience. And I mean, we're talking about juniors here, and some of them have had more race experience than others, but to me, that was a bad mistake.
Okay, well, we move on from that. We hope that, of course, Anouk Dana is okay. We'll try and get some kind of confirmation from on course if she is indeed fine. But at the moment, at the front, Fanny Zelai is continuing to drive this pack forward. The two French women behind her. So second and third in last year's Junior World Championships are now first and second in this race. And the question is, what is the gap back to Ambra Grasset, who is your world champion? It was 54 seconds on the previous split. It's still 52 seconds. And she's with a group that's about 8 strong, trying to work together to pick up the major group of athletes who's about 10 seconds ahead of them. So Donatska on her own, 11 seconds in arrears. You can see there that group at 33 seconds. Grasset is not in that group. She is a further 10 or 12 seconds back. So the gap holding strong. These athletes working just as hard as those behind, and it stays kind of strong. And there is Grasset, 59 seconds it is now through that 8.8 kilometre split. So it's 55 out of the water, and it's basically stayed around that.
Around the same, around that minute mark.
And Grasset probably has the better run of the two athletes, but I'm not sure whether she's got a minute over 5 kilometres. Maybe if it was an Olympic distance race, it could be different.
But this group of 5 working very, very well, of course. Zelai doing the lion's share of the work right now, asking them to come through. So deciding, you know what, you ladies need to help me out here. If we have any chance of staying away, we need to work together. She's calling them through now.
Zelai is the lion's share. Is that what you said?
Zelai is doing the lion's share right now.
Thank you so much.
Incredible athlete. Yep. I mean, I remember when she burst onto the scene, I think 14 or 15 years of age, and already doing extraordinary things.
Zelai we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we picked her, I say we, it wasn't up to me, but she came to the Esports World Championships as a 15-year-old, and she turned 15 a couple of months beforehand in Surrey in Switzerland, and there were plenty of people who said she was too young, and then she came third, which was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Went on to the grand final in London and finished 8th overall, and then the next minute Tim Don picked her for his Eagles team in the 2023 Super Tri Championship. Got eliminated 3 times, and each time she was a little closer, and then finished 7th, I think, in Neon. Was a big breakthrough moment in 2023. Raced 2024, and then picked up a first podium in Chicago just about 6 or 7 weeks ago, behind Jean Lahair and Georgia Taylor-Brown, if you don't mind.
Incredible. But Tim Don, he has got an eye for these things. He's been in the sport for a very long time, and he knows talent when he sees it.
So Donatska has dropped back to that big group that includes real contenders like Liz Captain as well. And Hayashi, who I'm not sure whether has served that penalty or not yet. Obviously hasn't served the penalty yet. We'll do that in T2. And also De La Pena Shot, who is our 3rd ranked athlete in terms of seeds or world rankings. And then there's a gap back to athletes like Grasset, Houslip as well, who's fancied by many, and Manson. That's Tilda Manson's sister, actually.
It is, and of course, Tilda not racing the elites here on Sunday, chosen to stay home in Europe.
Sent
her sister and said, I love that.
Here you go. I'll stay in Stockholm.
Tag team there.
She's not a bad runner, Hannah Manson. Did a track PB of 37.17. Just last week, actually, in Sweden. She's the junior champ in Sweden from 2025. She's in that group back there. She's a minute back. So there's quality athletes around Ambra Grasset, but still a minute in arrears in this group of 5 out the front. Third of 4 laps, more than half an hour into this one. Past the halfway mark. And there's Donatska on the back of that group now, having lost her partner in crime, Anouk Dana.
But we get reports that she's okay. She sounded like she came down very, very hard. You can hear her crying in the background. Often it's just the shock of a fall. But we certainly don't want any more broken bones. Always a bit of a risk when you get the blustery conditions. We knew that a storm was coming. It looks like it's holding off for now, but at beginning stages, you always get that really blustery wind. We know we've got spotters out on course telling us that it's blowing every which way. It makes it very, very dangerous when you've got overlapping of wheels, big groups. But this group working really well. It's a nice size group. I'm sure Zelaya is very happy that she's got some helpers now on the front. And they've got a nice gap now, Will, on the rest of the field. Look at that, still can't see them.
Yeah, 30 seconds. And during this part of the course, you just absolutely cannot see them. The next time they're going to see these athletes is going to be at the turnaround when they're on the way back, and that's when things can get a little bit disheartening. And some confident cornering through these areas, considering how windy it is, although it may have dropped a little bit. Doesn't look like the trees are moving around too much, but Doug Gray out on course said it's pretty windy. It's absolutely playing havoc with his hair, so I'm sorry for him. And there is the chase group working together at 30 seconds in arrears. It's quite a decently sized group. There's got to be at least 12 to maybe 15 athletes. And we're counting, so the 6th place athlete through 16. So we've got 10 athletes out there, or 11. Donatska at the back. And then it's 25 seconds back to De La Pena and that group with Houslip and Grasset, Tikhonova, Ava Henville, another of the Australians, Cristina Jimenez-Horta, the Spaniard. So they've actually taken off about 4 or 5 seconds since the previous splits.
A little bit of chatter there in that lead group. Of course, Zelaya coming to the front yet again. She wants to make sure that they keep that pace on. It's so easy. Take the gas off, and all of a sudden you've got that chase group making up so much time. They need to keep the pressure on here.
It's not the first time Diana Donatska her bike handling has cost her a good result. Twice this year alone, she has crashed in races that have cost her what would have been good results, but you know, and maybe, and here we go, we'll see it again. She comes around the corner, maybe there's a gust of wind, maybe not, and it does look like she's kind of not even looked behind her and just come across to get ready for what is going to be a right-hand corner coming up very soon after that.
I think that's exactly, she's just cut across too early, taken out that front wheel of Dana. And you're right, I think she was preparing to turn right. Exactly, Will.
I mean, and Dana also should be aware of someone, even if she feels like she has to get a bit brake checked to avoid that. But, you know, these are racing incidents that occur. We haven't heard about any penalties or etc. But Donatska, yeah, as I said, has had accidents this year that have cost her good results, but she can certainly run second at the 3,000-metre Slovak indoor champs this year as well. She's going to need to too. There she is in the chase pack, but can't say enough for the effort that Fanny Zelaya is not getting a lot of help on the front in the middle part of this bike leg. She's been driving this bike for the last lap at least. And I reckon that the other athletes are doing their best just to hang on to the back of that group of 5.
I know we talk about it like it's just a given that they are going to help, but we know
going,
how strong she is.
Have a go, everyone. Give me a break. If it's anything like my group rides for the Manly Vipers Tri Club, it's always me dangling off the back, just trying to, and they're giving me the elbow, and I'm like, no elbows.
No, I'm not coming through.
Absolutely not.
And did you see that? They all had a little cheeky look across the road because it was an opportunity for them to see exactly where that next group is, who's in that group.
Yeah, yep. And they're a long way back. There they are, just making the turn. We'll see the splits now. It was 32 seconds before, now it's 38 seconds, so more time being put in to the second group, which is 10 strong. Donatska in there, we've talked about. Hayashi, another one. Della Pena's in there. Least captain, so there's properly good athletes, fancied athletes in that group, a lot of who can run, but full credit to this group, and especially Fanny Zalai, who have been good enough in the wind, and despite the wind and the nature of this course, to be able to stay away and put time into, which is really the only bike breakaway that we've seen work
That's working
this
so far.
weekend.
Absolutely, and you know, once they come back, they've got 1 lap to go. And Zalai has definitely been instrumental in keeping this group away. And it would be the perfect scenario for Zalai to come into transition in front. We know she is running very, very well, but
she probably has to, and considering the extra work that she's had to put in, if she put in the extra work on the bike to stay away, and it didn't work in the end, and they all came in together, whereas Grasset, for example, even though she's in another group back, if they all came in a big group together, she would have spent more energy.
Burnt more
for
matches,
nothing.
like we spoke about. It's got to be, if you're going to burn matches, you want to make it stick.
It is in her favour, and not to discount these athletes who are fantastic runners as well, but in the head-to-head battle between herself and Ambra Grasset, she needs this group to stay away to give her that advantage, and it certainly seems to be, as the weather on this camera specifically looks a lot darker and murkier than it does some of the other times, but you can see the wind and the trees in the background. It's making this a very, very difficult bike, and these women are making it look easy.
So there we've got it, bell lap for these young women. 5 of them off the front.
Zalai back on the front again. Reckman in behind her, and she's been second wheel for much of this. Lisa Lecomte, Linda Krombach, and Leah Huart, who are your 5. So if you're a French supporter, you've just seen Tristan Duché win the junior men's, and now you've got 2 athletes in the breakaway pack of 5, and they've been in the breakaway for nearly the entire bike as Lise Captain, the Estonian, leads the chase group. Now 41 seconds back, so it was been 32 at the end of the previous lap, now 41, and there's some high-quality athletes in this group, but if it gets too much further, it's going to be a difficult run to try and catch athletes of this caliber who are in the front. Oh, someone's gone down! That hurts. I think it's the Luxembourg athlete, Linda Krombach, who has just taken an accidental right-hand turn onto the gutter. And we'll have to see the replay of that, but that was supremely unusual.
Just out of nowhere. What happened there?
Let's see. She kind of went.
Oh, she got the wheel. So she literally just clipped that wheel, and she's
very
lucky.
windy
I
up
tell
there.
you what, she did really well not to drop the bike on the road. She was able to get herself and actually drop the bike on the grass. So a lot better fall than what it would have been if it had been on the tar, on the bitumen.
I'm not sure she had a choice when she fell off, but I'll take your word for it. But
you know,
clipped a wheel, very, very windy up there, extremely windy.
This is the problem we're going to see right now, and people are taking risks because it's a sprint distance race, and these women on front, they want to stay away, and it gets the wind, the crosswinds that they've got, and we know that this is the most. Look at that flag in the background there.
Just disappearing nearly.
Just flying, and we know that those crosswinds really cause havoc.
Oh, look at those trees too. They're absolutely whipping around, and that has pushed.
But hats off to her. She
Linda
was
Krombach.
straight back up on the bike. There was no hesitation whatsoever. Whew. This race, how long have we been going? 39 minutes and 55 seconds, and we've already got
Action-packed, though.
Action
Let's have a
packed.
look again. So big gust of wind, and she got pushed in, turned a little bit, touched the
just
wheel,
touched it.
and then
Whoa,
somehow
tried to save
stayed on and just put the indicator on and decided to take a shortcut onto the grass.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm surprised she didn't get a front puncture there,
yeah.
because did you see how hard that tyre hit the gutter?
Well, I mean, we don't know that she hasn't
exactly.
got a front puncture.
I mean, it looked almost to me like it was a puncture there, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, we'll see on the
where
next
she
set of
is.
splits if she continues with that pack behind.
But unfortunately for this pack, it's down to 4 now. So this lead group down to 4 riders on the final lap here before they make their way into transition.
2 French women, a Hungarian and a German. That is Lecomte and Huart. Chiara Reckman and Fanny Zalai. And we have lost Linda Krombach, the Luxembourg athlete.
And you know, we don't know too much about Chiara Reckman. You know, she wasn't, again, each and every race, I keep saying this like a broken record, she wasn't on my radar. But she was 3rd at the German Triathlon Junior National Championships this year. 23rd in the Open, in the Elite Sprint Championships.
Amber Grasset now a minute 12 back, so that group is losing more and more time, and they're now 30 seconds behind the first chase pack.
Yeah, they're losing time at a rate of knots right now. It's going to be very difficult for them to make up time coming into transition.
So the chances of a back-to-back World Junior titles is starting to slip away.
Starting to fade.
Chiara Reckman at the front. Then you've got Lisa Lecomte, the French woman. Then Leah Huart, 3rd last year, and then having a bit of a break at the back is Fanny Zalai, the Hungarian wunderkind.
Don't you feel like these ladies are starting to work well together now? They know, I think they're finally believing. I think Zalai always believed, but these other 3 are starting to believe that they can take this out, they can get into transition with a good-sized buffer.
They look good.
They do look good. They look focused. And look, taking...
Relaxed. We're going to replay of another crash there. That's Dunatska. And we're going to see what happens now on the right of frame.
Another crash.
Someone's gone wide. Light blue suit, green bike.
Is this the same corner?
What am I thinking?
Is this
Italian?
Yeah.
It is the same corner. Exactly the same corner as Dunatska.
What is it with this corner? It's a rotten corner.
It's Dunatska corner.
It's just...
I don't know who that was, but whoever it was has dropped off the timing sheets, so...
But these women, I think they really do believe now, and they are working so well together. And there'll be one woman that is very, very happy right now, and that is Zalai, because they are really pushing this last lap to the limits.
Okay, so some updates on some other athletes of note who are down the timing sheet. So it's a minute 12 back to Amber Grasset. Hannah Manson is in that group as well. And then we go even further back. Aspen Anderson, who had a great swim, a minute 46 in arrears. She was one of the more fancied athletes in this one. She is way back down the field. Ruth Party as well from the USA in 146. Cadence Ribbink, the Africa's champion. She's 3:23 back in a group there with athletes like Patience Lamb, the Brit, 4:38 back. And then last of all, Isabella Carreras from Mexico, 5 minutes 17 behind.
And look at
Meanwhile,
this.
Dunatska's making a charge to try and cross over exactly the same as Ollie Moxon did in the same spot in the Australian race, in the junior men's race about a couple of hours ago. And he paid for it on the run. The question is, Dunatska, who is a good runner, as we said, 2nd in the 3,000 indoors in Slovakia this year. And she's thinking, can she make her way up the road? She's only got 4 kilometres to do it. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea. Maybe she just doesn't want to come into transition with all those other bikes, but I don't know if that's a good enough reason to try and make up 40 seconds in 4 kilometres.
But I suppose she's thinking to herself, if I don't try and make a break now, I can't
catch them.
I can't catch them. So what's she racing for? 5th place.
That's very true. That's very true.
So I think good on her for thinking that
Roll
it's
the
now or
dice.
never, and it's do or die, wondering.
I mean, she might think to herself, I can run them down with 20 seconds, but not 45, and that's a fair point.
Correct.
Fair point to make, as the Australian weather gives us a little bit of everything. But these 4 women, they look composed, and Fanny Zalai, a smart race this time, She's driven the bike, she's made sure the breakaway stays away, and then she's tucked in on the last lap to conserve herself somewhat, and I think that's a smart way to do it.
Well, it's, you know what, it's showing her experience right now. This is an experienced athlete with a lot of race experience. She knows exactly what's needed, and I know she played it down in her interview earlier today before the start, that she put too much pressure on herself last year, and she wanted to win, and she ended up with second by a mere 4 seconds. But I think deep down inside, she wants first place. She was second last year. There really only is one place to go, and that's up. She wants first place, and so far
Imagine winning every race for 2 years that you've been in, and then
you get beaten
to second in the World Championships.
Hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's not confirmation, but we do think that it was Iana Chenskaya, the AIN athlete, the Russian or Belarusian athlete, who had that great swim, who came down at Donatska corner.
Disappointing.
And here we go. We're off the bike. We're into T2. We'll see the splits once again. And they're clean off the bike. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 French women and a Hungarian and a German. And it could well be a European podium lockout. 5 kilometre run to go. And Fanny Zalai second last year. Leah Huart third last year. They both want the top step. And there's 2 more who want it as well. Zalai hasn't had great transitions in the past. It was lightning fast from Huart, and she's ahead.
And look at this.
Off the back.
Look who's right behind them right now coming into transition. What a ride she's had.
Was 45 seconds off at the last split.
Wow.
And she's ridden 15 seconds into the group and into the front. Diana Donatska.
Here she
there
comes.
she is. Last time she was here, she had to wait 10 seconds. This time, she gets to go straight out and try and run down as many as she can. 46 to the rest of the chasing pack.
Look at Zalai running now. She means absolute business.
She needs to run down Huart.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt she's going to be able to do that.
Massive call. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Just the look of determination on her face right now.
Captain out. Cornwall out. Huart, though, at the front.
Ooh. Look at this, coming right behind her, but great racing from Huart. This is a race worthy of a world championship, that is for sure.
When you look at the early World Triathlon level resumes of these top 2 athletes, Huart, 14 World Triathlon level starts for 12 podiums and 6 wins. Zalai, 20 starts for 16 podiums and 10 wins. That is some kind of a strike rate for these 2 athletes. They fought it out with Amber Grasset last year, and now they're going to fight it out again without Grasset to see who can do 1 or 2 better and become the world champion of the juniors. There's another year or 2 if she wants it for Fanny Zalai at 17 years old. She'll be looking to go up to under 23s at some stage, though. Huart.
I tell you, Huart looks really good right now as she makes her way up over that little nasty ascent. But both of these women looking really good. Close up there on the right of Zalai.
It's hard to tell. It feels like Zalai is closing, but it could just be the foreshortening effect of that head-on camera. So it's hard to know. Probably 15 metres between the pair of them, really labouring up the hill, and people are getting blown away.
Wind up there. It's just crazy. Oh, this climb, it's just such a, it's only short,
horrible.
but it is horrible.
It's hard when it's that windy. It's quite hard to breathe properly.
Yeah,
and
really.
then this is where whoever can descend well here is usually the person that breaks away and makes it stick. And it looks to me like Zalai looks better.
Absolutely. And it's, I think she needs to just get herself on the shoulder. She just needs to really chase right now.
She's such a strong athlete for such a young woman.
Amazing.
And she has halved that gap, it looks like, between the pair of them. And if they can run together, we might have another Rochelle Hill situation.
Oh, stop it. I don't know if I can do two in 2 days. It's too much for me.
I don't either, but I hope so for the sake of the sport. And Zalai has run up onto the shoulder of Huart, and we've got a 1-2, a straight-up ding-dong battle over 5 kilometres for the World Championship, which is what we want, and another for the podium.
And look at this.
As Lecomte.
Not content to just sit there. She's deciding she's going to go around. I thought she'd sit there for a while, collect herself.
I would have done that.
Let her heart rate go down, but
that.
she's like, no way. I am just going to go straight past you.
Well, if she's going to go past, she wants to make sure she immediately creates a gap. She wants to drop it, but no. Huart has decided to sit behind the imposing frame of Fanny Zalai. And in the chase group, we've got the German and the French woman, Lecomte and Reckman. Reckman's having the race of her life.
Absolute race
Lecomte
of her
as
career.
well.
It's brilliant racing from these two young ladies. And looking good so far early on in this 5-kilometre run.
I say I didn't have too many notes on Lisa Lecomte either, to be fair.
No, I've just had to do some very quick research. I'm just glad I've got the World Triathlon website handy right now. But I tell you, it's going to be cat and mouse with these two for the entire 5 kilometres. Look at them. We're back to Huart leading.
No, that's what you want to see. Now it turns into, okay, it's the two of us.
Very
okay, we both stood on the podium last year, but neither of us were on the top step. And now it comes down to that.
One of us gets to take the top step here today. Oh, what a position to be in for these two.
So Lai's thinking, look, Leah, you can go up one step and I'll go up one step. That seems fair. You go from third to second, I'll go from second to first.
That's the order it should be,
Come on, that's fair. That's fair. It says lap 1 of 2, but of course this is the out lap, so we're still going to have another 2 laps around this course to make it the 5 kilometres. Lecomte and Reckman are behind, and it looks like absolutely no one's going to challenge them.
No, cannot. Daylight is in 4th place right now, but Reckman having the race.
To be fair, Lecomte's in 4th place.
4th place, sorry, 5th place.
We're going to call it Daylight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place is Daylight.
Very important never to let your co-commentator get away with something like that.
I know, you're pulling me up for everything. It's all right, it's good.
That's what I do.
don't mind.
But yeah, Lecomte, she's been in these battles, European Cup battles. She's finished in the top 5 in a bunch. She finished 8th last year in the Worlds, so she's going to outdo that no matter what happens. But this is the battle we wanted to see. Zalai versus anyone.
And look at that, changing the lead again between these two women. Just absolute powerhouses, the both of them. And it really is. It's going. I think we could be in for a sprint finish. What do you think?
What are they, honestly, what are they doing in Hungary and France in the junior and under-23 ranks? Marta Kropko 3rd yesterday in the under-23 women's. Martin Kropko 2nd in the under-23 men's. Tristan Duché wins the junior men's for France. And now we've got a Hungary versus France junior women's.
I'll tell you, whatever they're doing.
Go over there and find out what's going on.
They're doing it exactly as it needs to be done.
Shoulder to shoulder, no quarter asked or given, these two athletes. Now Huart in front. She's like, okay, you have a go, I'll have a go. And then we'll find out who's got it in the tank when it comes down to the back end.
Right now, looking at the both of them up close, who do you think looks the more composed? Or you think it's about
I think
equal?
it's Huart, but I also think that Fanny Zalai has this racing, the style, or it's probably, Huart just looks very put together in her run.
Yes. Yeah.
But that just might be a stylistic thing. I think Fanny Zalai always runs like this.
Yeah. And
you know, with her elbows out and a bit more head movement.
And I also think Fanny Zalai just knows how to hurt herself more than most. A little bit like her brother yesterday. But you can see how it, just trying to stretch it out there whenever she gets a possibility, and Zalai.
It's really hard to know how deep Zalai is at this point. She looks like she's gone quite deep.
Yep.
She looks like she's absolutely sprinting, but also looks like she could keep this up. But if you had to put your money on someone, I think Huart looks the better of the two athletes.
She looks the more composed, the more comfortable right now. Look, she's not even the breathing. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, and I just think she definitely looks more in control. But I just know the racer that Zalai is.
Oh, so now she's stopping and just taking a little. She wants to go out of the wind when they go up the hill.
These two are playing a game. They're playing cat and mouse with each other. They are definitely.
I was getting quick flashbacks there of who stopped yesterday. The Czech athlete.
Czech athlete that was in front. That's right.
His name escapes me. Just had a little
bit of a
restart.
meltdown. Ended up in 6th.
Yeah, turn it off and on again type thing. When she lost the lead to the Italian athlete.
But that is interesting there, that, you know, she has made Zalai take the lead up this nasty little climb. It is smart.
Because it's so windy, and then she go, oh, I'm going to tuck in, almost like a little running echelon here.
And you can just see
because that's where the wind's coming from.
Oh,
She's like, I want to stick on this shoulder because the wind's coming across so quickly. And the two of them are running Nowhere near the pace that Zalai was running down this hill last time. And that's a lap athlete, Weber in the back.
You can hear their teams screaming at them. I wonder if...
Just a few shirtless Australians.
Yeah, sure, well, that's stock standard over this side of the world.
Yep.
But I wonder just what's going through the minds of both these women right now. Who's going to try and kick? Will we see one of them try to kick? Or are they going to save it to the blue carpet?
Look at this, it's just a little 2x2,
It's
little bit
amazing.
of Noah's Ark racing. 2x2 onto the arc in the tempestuous conditions. That's another lapped athlete, the Mexican, who they're going to go past. Lecomte in the front, and Reckman, the German, as they fight. And it looks like a little gap now, and Lecomte's tried to gap here on basically the most crucial part of the course, it turns out, is the downhill and the turn onto Marine Drive, which is where we've seen changes in the race each and every time on the run. And these two athletes look like they're labouring like the other two in front do not look like, but Lecomte has done enough right now to put a little bit of a gap. I wouldn't say the rubber band snapped completely, but it's snapping.
Still there. It is on its way out. And this is for the final position on the podium, so this is a really big move from Lecomte.
And when you look at the medal count, the French and the Germans and the Americans have all won this event 3 times. Great Britain, and there's Patience Lamb, who's being lapped, never won a junior world title since 2009 when WTS racing began. With the French looking to go clear completely with their 4th gold medal in this event.
Oh, these two just keep switching out on the front. So now we've got Zalai back on the front.
I just wonder who's got the tactical nous on this one. They're both so young, but they've both got so much experience at this level. When you look at the amount of starts that they've had between them,
it's incredible.
Plenty of elite starts already for athletes who are so young.
But both still looking so composed facially. It's hard for me to pick right now. But this final lap is going to be an absolute ripper, just as we wanted, just as we all expected for a World Championship. Little quick look behind. I don't think these two need to worry about anything that's going on behind them right now as they get the bell lap, so they are into the final lap.
1.8 kilometres to go between these two women and the Junior World Championship, the one that was denied, both of them, by Ambra Grasset. And it's down to these two, you would think. I'm looking back at the splits of everyone else, and we'll see them come in. It was 28 seconds back to the other ones. Huart now.
Is this a move?
Makes a move, and it's up to Zalai to try to respond. Huart looks like the more composed of the two. Could she resign Zalai? Looks like it to back-to-back Vice World Championships. I think she snapped the rubber band here now. Huart's attacked.
What a move from the young French woman.
Oh, at the back, Zalai is giving everything. She's looked at the back of a French woman and was denied by a French woman last year. Is she going to be denied again this year? I think she is at this point.
Just looking at Huart now, she looks fantastic. There's not going to be any slowing down.
Hang on a minute, we said this yesterday, at this exact moment. There's all sorts of things would happen in the last kilometre, but it's gone from no gap to 100 metres in about 400 metres or less.
Very definitive move from the Frenchman. She has a little look round, and that's only going to make her feel better. She's going to grow wings right now, seeing, look at that gap now. It has really opened up.
Well, it's time to Zalai to dig in. But it looks like Huart has done the job she needed to do at another key part of the course. There is Zalai, who is in the far distance all of a sudden. Gaps back to now Lecomte, who has gapped Reckman by 7 seconds. Donatska is in a group with Carlotta Bulk. Lise Captain then is another 17 seconds back in 7th. Cristina Jimenez Orta and Jimena de la Peña, the Spanish and American athletes, are fighting with Hayley Cornwall for the top 10. And then it goes back to Tikhonova, Beatrice Filion, Laura Sobats, Lottie Manibo, Casilda Carvalho, the Portuguese athlete, Maria Romanens, are all in a big group together. Addison Houslip on her own in 17th, and Amber Grasset over 2 minutes back with Anouk Rigaud as well, further back, who was another contender that we were talking about. So those two are well out of it. And in the meanwhile, Leah Huart is way out in front here on a wild and windy day. And a definite cold change coming in. It's going to drop nearly 10 degrees for tomorrow's Para-Triathlon World Championships, starting early in the morning here in Wollongong. But right now, it's all about the French woman. She's going downhill. Zalai is still on the uphill, and she's going to need some kind of downhill if she's going to go anywhere near coming back on this one. Stranger things have happened, but I don't think it's going to happen this time.
No, I think we are seeing right now in front of our eyes the new junior women's world champion, still looking so good, has not faltered at all during this 5 kilometre run.
She's been very strong. She's looked composed. Multiple European Junior Cup winner. Was 23 seconds behind Grasset in last year's Sprint Junior Championships for France. Finished second overall. Won a European Cup in Halton. And, of course, bronze in the Worlds last year in Torremolinos. She's shaking it out. She knows she's got around a kilometre or less than a kilometre to go now, and she's got plenty of buffer.
She had a last little sneaky look behind to see exactly where Zalai was. She will know that she's got the gap she needs. She's just got to keep that turnover going.
So we've had a French junior men's world champion in Tristan Duchesne, and then now the French could go back-to-back on Friday of grand final weekend with the junior women's world champion. And she's going to do it. She's going to do it easier than Duchesne did it. You can see in the background, Zalai's going to come around that corner soon enough, but it's going to be way, way too big of a gap. And she's dug deep. She's going to finish vice world champion again, and that is going to leave a very bittersweet taste in the mouth of Fanny Zalai, who carries so much expectation now into races where she's racing her peers rather than the elites, which is, it must be hard. You know, she's carried that since she was 12, you know, that
it's tough, but
weight of expectation.
You can also look at it on the flip side. The consistency of this young woman, year in and year out, has been nothing short of remarkable. You get so many of these young athletes where, you know, they have some fantastic seasons and they're injured for a lot of the season, but Zalai has just always been there so consistently.
She is ultra consistent, and it's going to put her on the podium, but it is not going to put her onto the top step of the podium, and France are going to lock out the Junior World Championships, as 2 hours ago Tristan Duchesne did it. Now Leah Huart is going to do it. She has time for the high fives, and why not? Huart is going to be the Junior World Champion, bronze in 2024, gold in 2025. What a run, what an attack on the last lap. And she leaves daylight behind her. Leah Huart. She wasn't going to leave it to a run battle this year. She has put Fanny Zalai to bed on the second lap. And Zalai, the 17-year-old, vice world champion last year, vice world champion this year, the ever-consistent Hungarian, continues the Hungarian tradition of incredible junior and under-23 athletes, and she'll finish second, picks up the silver again. Huge race from Zalai, and you can tell that she's disappointed.
And you know, what I love about the Fanny Zalai, disappointed because she expects so much from herself, and that's the sign of an absolute champion. It'll take her a few days to realise and digest that, you know, second place, the consistency to get second again. and she will need to be happy with that. But it's,
wow!
Look at this. What has happened here?
Zinatska has come past Lecomte,
what a
has
run.
come past Reckman. She was 30 seconds back, and she takes the podium of a 10-second penalty. Wow, that snuck up on us. Lecomte ends up in 4th. She'd given too much. The conditions at Wollongong so hard at the back end of any run. And it's
And look
not
at this, it's not Reckman.
It's Carlotta Bulk, who on the last splits was a minute back, has come back with a great second half of the run to make it German 5th and 6th.
So much for my daylight in our 5th.
Oh, wow. What a back end of the run. Liz Captain, the Estonian, is going to come over the line in 7th position.
Solid race from Liz.
And that's Christina Jimenez-Orta as well, who's extremely excited because she's going to finish in the top 8 of a World Championship. No, it's not. It's Romanens, the Swiss. I'm sorry.
Well
She has
done.
come back with a serious run. She was on the last splits 16th. She's gone from 16th to 6th. That's amazing. Then Jimenez-Orta. Then Jimena de la Peña shot. Wow, there's been some runs at the back end. Big sprint finish now. Tikhonova, Fillion and Cornwall come across the line together for 11th and 13th. Then another one with Sobach, Belgian, Hauslip as well from Australia. There has been some supreme runs at the back end, particularly by Bulk and Romanens to finish in the top 8. And then Anouk Rigaud, another of the French women, comes across, congratulates Leah Huart, and I'm overcome with emotion. These two, for different reasons, what an up and down race for the #1 seed, Diana Dunatsky, and a little bit of disbelief there from Zalai, and these seats are where our younger athletes sit to process the emotions of what's been a tough day.
And you know, it is hard. We're talking about youngsters, 16, 17-year-old women here, and they work so hard, they race so hard, they have so many expectations that they place on themselves. And I just think it's incredible. And this young woman, I know she's disappointed with second again, but as I said, it'll just take a couple of days to process what she's done.
She hasn't had a lot of second places, you know.
I know.
And
sometimes you think of that as a step backwards. I understand that, but what she's also got to realise is that the sport is continuing to evolve.
Yeah.
Each and every season we see more and more phenomenal talent. And that's why I love the World Championships. This year alone, you know, we did all our research. We thought we had all of the top seeds highlighted, yet we're talking about athletes that we've never spoken about before.
Well, look at some of these run times. So Leah Huart ran a 17 flat, but it wasn't the fastest out there. Maria Romanens turns in a 16:57 at the back end. And then you look at Carlotta Bulk, she ran a 17:41. And those two were head and shoulders above everybody else, because when you look at 17 flat from Huart, 16:57, 40 seconds faster than anyone else's 5K out there, which is absolutely incredible. We're trying to get our winner for an interview with Doug Gray, but as you can probably imagine, it's not that easy. In fact, we do have it now. We're going to head down now to Doug, who has our top 3.
Leah, congratulations, you are world champion.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I didn't expect this race. So on the swim, we swam very fast. It was not very easy, but I get out of the water first. So I tried to make a really fast T1, and after that we start the bike with 4 girls. So we push very hard on the 2 first laps, and after that the girls don't catch up. So yeah, I did a good the second transition, and after that I ran with Fanny. She ran very fast, but at the moment I try to start very fast, and I make a gap behind me. So yeah, I ran the last lap on my own, and yeah, I finished first, so it was a really good race here.
That's a pretty comprehensive race recap, but just give us a sense of how long you've been working towards this since obviously last year, and it was Fanny Zalai you had the battle with last year, and she just got ahead of you there.
Yeah, last year I finished third, so here it's my last race in junior. So yeah, I work very hard this season. On the summer I broke my wrist, so I didn't train very well, but after that I restart very good and very fast, and I had the World Championship in my head, and yeah, it's this race.
Big things ahead, no doubt. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Fanny Zalai, that was a big move from Leah there, and silver, but yeah, a fantastic race.
Thank you so much. She was amazing. She ran incredibly. So I was just trying to keep up, but yeah, it was not my day, definitely.
I mean, yeah, sometimes these moves happen, sometimes you can respond, sometimes you can't, and the effort that was put in through that bike and through the windy streets must have taken a toll.
Yeah, I think it was a very tough course, but I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like, I think, yeah, it was a really good course. The bike was extremely hard, but I mean, I just tried to work to not to make the group away from the second from the chase group. So, yeah, in the run, I felt empty, but I mean, yeah, I just tried and I gave my 100%. So, yeah.
100% for sure, and it's a feeling that again will no doubt fuel you over the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think just heard a quote from Team Dom that one race not going to define me. I think I've done some good race this year. I came back from an injury, so I mean, yeah, it will just give me some motivation from the winter preparation to work even harder and smarter.
Congratulations, great racing.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
And Diana, who pulled a bronze out of seemingly nowhere, as Lecomte was just drawn closer and closer, and yeah, you sensed it.
Well, I could tell that they weren't going to be picking up the pace, and so if I was going to pass them, I'd have to go all out so they wouldn't have that chance of hope to keep up with me, and so that they would just be like, well, darn, I guess it's fourth place for me. So that's what I tried to do.
And the race as a whole for you, I mean, it felt like a bit of a soap opera with everything going on, from the penalty to the incident on the bike to...
I mean, everything that could have happened, but I've had a really long season, a lot of experiences. I've had falls myself, I've slipped in transition, so I came into this just to enjoy it, and anything that happened, I was like, well, that's destiny, so.
Yeah, and was the wind as crazy as it looked out there on the bike, and what happened between you?
Yeah, I honestly was not expecting the wind. I knew that it would be windy, but I was going sideways at an angle, so, but it's, you know, Mother Nature, you go with what the situation is happening, so.
And yeah, so it's been a huge year. You must be delighted with the podium and the World Champs and kicking on for a big 2026 ahead.
Yeah, I'm really happy. It's my second year in kind of racing like in the big leagues, so you could say. So I'm satisfied with the podium. Finally, it's been a very long season.
Great stuff. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Classic deep Slovakian accent there on Diana Danatska, who obviously was lived for a long time in Canada, as we said during the telecast. Let's have a look back at how the women's played out, and a couple of yellow caps at the front early, although that would change as Fanny Zalai and Leah Huard actually came out together in that one, basically stuck together for half the race, and there were good swims from down in the pack as well. There was a issue with the helmet for Ayami Hayashi, and you can see it right there. She copped a 10-second penalty for that. That was Zalai coming out there as well. And then on the bike, a group of 5 eventually formed. As you can see, they came together on the first lap up the hill, and this group would stay together for quite a while and stay away and work hard. And Zalai really pushed it on the front to try and get rid of Amber Grasse, who, well, she did get rid of in the end, and keep that away. There was a coming together here between Danatska and Anouk Dana. And we haven't found out whether she is indeed okay. We do hope that she was. There was another one here, an unintentional right turn onto the grass from our Luxembourg athlete. And off she went, and then eventually Czechskaya, who was one of the swim protagonists, came off as well at the same corner as Anouk Dana did. It was 4 then. France, Hungary and Germany into transition together. Huart had the best transition by quite a way. Zalai lost time in transition, had to work really hard to get onto the shoulder of Leah Huart, and then Huart probably played Belinda a superior tactical game.
I just love the tactics of these two women, and you're dead right. And you nailed it before, with about a lap to go, when I asked you who looks the best out of the two, and you said Huart just looks so in control. And if you were a betting man, which I don't think you are, but if you were, your money was going to be on
zero cash
on Huart. And she just, when she made that decisive move, when she started to put some time in, and that elastic band just started to break, that defining moment, she has a little bit of a check, and it was game over.
And, you know, part of you feels for Zalai being relegated again to second position, and you could see that she could feel it, but that does not take away in any way from this incredible effort from Leah Huart, who played a great game tactically and ran away with it at the end. Diana Donatska was in third position, but before that, Zalai came across in second position. In the end, she was 34 seconds in arrears, and you can see how bittersweet it was for her. She's an athlete who is used to standing atop a podium and has super high standards. And then Donatska, the #1 seed coming in, gets a 10-second penalty before the race even begins, and then runs away back onto the podium ahead of Lisa Lecomte, who was in a big battle there for a long time with Chiara Reckman, but instead it was Carlotta Bulk who came in 5th overall. Let's get a confirmation then of the results. 37 seconds, sorry, it was in the end. I'm not sure. Oh, yep, that's the confirmed split. Donatska 3rd, Lecomte and Bulk, and there's 2 Germans and 2 French women in the top 6. Then the Estonian Lise Captain, who is continuing to improve in a great run, second fastest run of the day from Romanens of Switzerland. Then Jimenez Orta, De La Pena was your top 10. Addison Houslip, the best Aussie, in 16th position, 2:29 back, and Anouk Rigaud, who was one of the more fancied athletes we've talked about in the past, had a great European Championship. She finishes in 17th, and your top 20 was rounded out by Cacilda Carvalho of Portugal. And wow, what a race that was.
Unbelievable.
And it all started today. Take us through it. Belinda Granger in the men's.
And of course the men, great start there today. We had to change the swim, so it was an M-shaped swim. Brilliant start from our junior men.
Yeah, Blake Bullard out front, the fancied American wearing the #1. It was a bit of a smash up in the swim. And I'm just trying to remind myself who it was that came out of the water first. Bullard was first in the end. And then Spanish athlete Suarez, Daniel Suarez, and Alex Robin, who
was right up there from the start.
Yeah, he was one of the real protagonists in this race. And Caleb Wagner came down in transition, the Kiwi. He'd get back and be part of the chasing pack. There was a group of 3 out of there together. Ollie Moxon, the Australian, decided he needed to bridge the gap, which he did in the end, but he burnt a little too many matches in that effort. We had a group of 4, Sushan and Devos, the Belgian, and it was just those 2 eventually who dropped the other 2 and worked together to come into T2 together.
Just with that slight lead, but my gosh, that group behind came in like lightning.
Yeah, how about the transition, though, from Flores, the Chilean? Look at him go. Came in 9 seconds back, runs out in between Sushan and Devos, and then runs away from them. Wooten, the Australian, joins what ended up being a group of 3 on the first way up the hill, including Robin as well.
Robin so strong all day long, wasn't he? And really did everything he could to set himself up for the win. But
sitting in there was Tristan Duchesne.
It wasn't
as well.
To be. Yeah.
And he would run through. Looks like a supreme runner. Almost looks like just a straight up 5,000 metre runner. He
certainly does.
And he would come across the line first, and the Scottish flag will be flying. Team GBR's Alex Robin comes across, and Flores, the Chilean, earns a rare World Championship podium for his country. Duchesne, 55.42 in the end. That is a very quick sprint distance triathlon. 6 seconds, 9 seconds back to the Chilean. Achille Besson, one of the more fancied athletes, comes home in fourth for France. And we have a look back further. The number 1 seed, Blake Bullard, in the end, 38 seconds back, the swim leader. And Caleb Wagner, it was good to see him stay in it after that accident, and emotions then being let out. That is Geza Salai, Fanny's father, who travels with her to every single event around the world and is her rock in so many ways. And to be fair, you know, she's so young.
I know.
You know, and you forget.
You do forget. As I said, I had to look at her age again on the sheets we've got with the information, because I feel like I've been watching her for years.
Yep, we'll head down now to the presentation.
Oceania Triathlon President. Presenting gifts is Emma Moffat, official event ambassador, Olympic medalist and 2-time world champion. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, the 2025 World Triathlon Championships Wollongong, representing Slovakia, Dani Donaska. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal at the 2025 World Triathlon Championship Wollongong, representing Hungary, Fanny Stalai. In first place, and the 2025 Junior Triathlon World Champion, representing France, Léa Huat. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you can for the playing of the national anthem of France. Thank you.
Three incredible athletes and a mix of emotions up there. Anna Dunavska, the number 1 seed, runs away incredibly up to third position. Léa Huat there congratulating her fellow world junior champion and her compatriot Tristan Duchesne. And we'll get the men up in just a second as well. And The best part about the World Junior Championships, Belinda, is the fact that we are seeing the start of some incredible careers that we get to enjoy for so many years to come, which I particularly like watching these athletes grow up and evolve and continue on to elite ranks and things that they would never have dreamed of just a year or two ago.
Look, for me, having been in the sport for over 30 years now, it's just, this is what it's all about, the next gen, and nurturing them and keeping them in the sport.
That's right. Let's head back down now to the men's podium.
Presenting medals is Ahmed Nasser, Africa Triathlon President. Presenting gifts is Alex Gossman, Austri board member. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal at the 2025 World Triathlon Championships, Wollongong, representing Chile, Ignacio Flores Zarana. Second place, and the winner of the silver medal at the 2025 World Triathlon Championship, Wollongong, representing Great Britain, Alex Robin. And in first place, and the 2025 Junior Triathlon World Champion, representing France, Tristan Duchesne. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, if you can, for the playing of the national anthem of France.
Two podiums, two French anthems, and why not these two athletes will spearhead the next generation of French quality athletes. They're so good over this sprint distance. They cut their teeth so early on in the French Grand Prix, and it just shows in the end, doesn't it, Belinda Granger?
Oh, it really does. And, you know, as you said, most of these young men, young women have been, they live and breathe triathlon. It's part of their DNA.
I like to train for 2 hours a week and then quit immediately during races, mentally.
Say never again.
The difference between us and them. Anyway, that pretty much wraps us up from the Friday of the World Championships weekend. It's been a beautiful one. It's been a blustery one. It's thrown a bit of everything at us, and we've crowned two French junior world champions. It continues tomorrow with the para triathlon and, of course, the T100 here in Wollongong for the very first time. Big day on commentary for Belinda Granger. And then the elites on Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. Belinda, thank you so much for joining me on this one.
Been an absolute pleasure, as usual.
All right, we will see you tomorrow, bright and early for the para triathlon, and then for the elites on Sunday. But on behalf of Belinda, Doug, and myself, it is bye for now.